In 2019, Pizza Hut announced it would systematically board up and abandon 500 of its United States locations over the following 2 years. It was a sharp contraction for a brand that essentially invented the national pizza chain model. Starting from a single Wichita storefront in 1958, they built a massive global footprint and held the title of the world's #1 pizza chain for 47 straight years. This graph shows how that market share played out over the decades. Pizza Hut maintained a dominant lead over smaller regional compounders for generations, keeping that top spot until 2018, when Domino's upward momentum finally pushed them into second place. The fallout extended deep into their operational network. By July 2020, NPC International, their largest franchisee, responsible for 20% of all U.S. Pizza Hut locations, filed for bankruptcy, a move that triggered an additional 300 restaurant closures. The loss of hundreds of storefronts and a major franchisee highlights a disconnect between Pizza Hut's historical model and the current requirements of the pizza industry. For decades, Pizza Hut's dominance relied on physical footprint. They built huge, iconic red-roofed dining rooms to capture the family sit-down market. Going to get pizza was an event, complete with personal pan pizzas and birthday parties inside the restaurant. While Pizza Hut was building dining rooms, a new competitor was weaving a logistics network right past them. Domino's didn't need massive real estate or a family-friendly atmosphere. They decentralized their operation, focusing entirely on speed and delivery, turning local roads into their primary business asset. Pizza Hut's corporate DNA was so tightly bound to that sit-down experience that they practically ignored the delivery market. They delayed the implementation of large-scale delivery until 1986, only doing so because Domino's was already eating into their profits. By treating home delivery as a defensive afterthought, they gave a direct competitor the time to scale a specialized delivery network that Pizza Hut's existing property model was not designed to match. As that delivery gap widened into the 2010s, Yum Brands executives tried to address their shrinking market share through marketing campaigns. In late 2014, they launched Flavor of Now, billing it as their biggest brand evolution ever. The goal was to pivot away from their family-oriented history and target a millennial demographic. They rolled out new boxes, updated their uniforms, and an overhauled menu featuring specialty crust flavors and sauce drizzles. It was an expensive pivot that ended up confusing and alienating their existing customer base. It was a steep drop from their previous marketing successes. Back in 1995, they had the cultural leverage to launch the stuffed crust pizza, using high-profile figures like Donald Trump to move the product into the mainstream. Flavor of Now, by comparison, did not help their numbers. Sales slightly dipped the following year, and the CEO of Yum Brands described the results as disappointing. In 2019, the brand scrapped its modern look and reverted to the exact same logo they used in the 1970s and 80s, returning to the visual identity they used during the peak of their market share. But a vintage logo cannot fix the underlying reality that their delivery infrastructure was still trailing far behind the competition. To compensate for that logistical deficit, Pizza Hut spent years executing high-profile public relations stunts to force a public association with delivery. They delivered pizza to the White House in 1989. They sent one to the International Space Station in 2001. And in 2016, they coordinated a delivery to the 19,000-foot summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. But the real operational shift wasn't happening on a mountain peak. The 500 store closures were a tactical move to reduce their reliance on the dining rooms that built their empire. They are replacing those legacy buildings with Delcos. These delivery and carry-out locations are small dispatch hubs with zero dining space, designed for maximum logistical efficiency. Systematically removing the iconic red roofs in favor of small dispatch centers completes their transition into the delivery-heavy market their competitors have occupied for decades. A brand that defined American family dining is now moving away from its defining physical characteristics to focus on survival. But as these legacy chains abandon their physical footprint to rely on dispatch centers, they face a new risk. If restaurants are nothing more than kitchens reliant on delivery, they must survive an environment where third-party apps